Welcome to the February 2nd, 2021 meeting of the Town Council Charter Review Committee. In accordance with Massachusetts General Law, this meeting is being videotaped and audio recorded, as well as being remotely broadcasted via Zoom webinar. If there's anyone in our viewing audience who is taping this meeting, would you please announce yourself? Hearing and seeing none. Who would love to do minutes today? Andy Fraser
My
has
turn.
volunteered graciously. Thank you. We have minutes for the meeting of January 26, 2021. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
By Jeff. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Tom Christensen seconded. Any discussion?
Excellent minutes.
Yes,
Oh.
very good.
Thank you.
All those in favor, Ralph Page,
Yes.
Larry Levine, yes. Tom Christensen,
Yes.
Andy Fraser,
Yes.
Bill Fonseca,
Yes,
Phil Adams,
Yes.
Jeff Bosworth.
Yes.
Marilyn, am I intentionally not including you?
Right. I think we're all here, so I'm the alternate.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's correct.
Okay.
All right, it's approved unanimously. Okay. So we're picking up where we left off last time with the codification issue. And in the last few days, Ralph and I attempted to come up with some wording, and hopefully if we haven't hit it right on the head, we have come close. Did everyone have a chance to look at the proposed wording?
Yes.
Yes,
And everyone can read it?
I could read it.
Most of it.
yeah, yeah.
Is there any discussion on the proposed wording? Okay, so we need a motion.
So moved.
And you are referring to, we'll do one at a time. Article 1,
Okay.
Section 7 definitions.
Yes,
Bill?
yes, so moved.
And the only change in the proposed former wording was the change of the word reorganization to reformatting, and the deletion in the line just below it of the words other minor.
Right.
Correct?
Yep.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, Ralph Page,
Yes.
Larry Levine, yes. Tom Christensen,
Yes.
Andy Fraser,
Yes.
Bill Fonseca,
Yes,
Phil Adams,
Yes.
Jeff Bosworth.
Yes.
Good. Then there was a proposed change to Article 2, Section 6, which would be a new paragraph placed at the end of the existing Section 6. Is there a motion to change pursuant to the recent proposal? And to refresh your memories, that older wording will begin with the words notwithstanding the above, comma. In the line that read, the proposed codification will not require the use of strikeout type brackets or underscoring as set forth herein. It will continue to read for reformatting, comma, renumbering, comma, and retitling existing, see, I can't even read, existing sections. Who's laughing?
No,
Nobody.
no, it's easier to say who isn't.
I'm helping you.
existing sections and making grammatical changes, comma, but shall be prepared in such a way as to clearly identify the changes being proposed in the codification process, period. And then an insertion of an additional sentence, which will read, the proposed codification of substantial, strike that. The proposed codification of substantive changes to existing language shall require the use of strikeout type, comma, brackets, comma, underscoring, comma, or marginal notes in such a way as to clearly identify the substantive changes being proposed in such a way as to clearly identify. That's repetitive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right,
Yes,
right.
it is.
And we talked about that on the phone, Larry, but you said it was important to say it twice.
No, I'm stupid. It should be, it should have a period after that.
After where?
First proposed.
Being proposed, period.
Yeah. You would delete the repetitive phrase after that.
Okay.
Everyone got that?
Got it.
All right, and is there a motion? I'm sorry, Ralph, go ahead.
So Larry, if I read this, it sounds to me like what we're saying is we still have to find a way to identify all the changes that we're doing in the codification, even gender changes and all.
Well, you'd have to, well, the question is identify. You don't have to, for grammatical, reformatting, renumbering, retitling, grammatical changes. You don't have to use strikeouts, brackets, underscoring, or marginal notes for those items.
Right, but it must be prepared in such a way to clearly identify the changes being proposed in the codification.
Right.
So Jeannie, is that even feasible?
Is it feasible?
Well, I'm asking Jeannie on the way we've got it set up.
Which is how your document looks, right?
Well, those are my substantial changes, which I agree with. We have to bring those out, show them, highlight them, comment on them.
Yeah.
But if I'm reading this, it sounds like the codification
Mhm.
also has to either be highlighted or something to identify it. Am I missing something?
No, we,
No, I see that.
yeah, it's well taken. So that last phrase probably should be removed, where it begins, but shall be prepared, because there has to be a reasonable synopsis as stated up above. And that could just say that there are grammatical changes, reformatting, etc., which is not important to, I guess, as important as substantive changes. Am I assuming too much?
No, I think that's correct. Because I would say grammatical changes encompasses Ralph's point
Yep.
about gender. Because it's not a substantive change.
Mm-hmm.
The next sentence, the last sentence that you crafted
Mhm.
takes care of that. Because it's breaking it into two parts.
Okay. So as co-author, I will suggest we delete the words after the comma that begin but shall be. Okay.
So what's it gonna read?
Please.
The whole paragraph?
Well, the one you're changing, yes. Not the whole paragraph, the
Just last.
written part.
All right, the sentence that begins, well, let's read from midpoint. A comprehensive record reflecting the entire scope and contents of the codification process shall be available for review in the office of the town clerk and on the town website at least 14 days prior to any such vote on codification. The proposed codification will not require the use of strikeout type, brackets, or underscoring as set forth herein for reformatting, comma, renumbering, comma,
Wait, a- yeah, go ahead.
okay, and retitling existing sections and making grammatical changes, period. The proposed codification of substantive changes to existing language shall require the use of strikeout type, comma, brackets, comma, underscoring, comma, or marginal notes in such a way as to clearly identify the substantive changes being proposed, period. And then the last sentence remains the same.
Now, did we ever define what substantive changes were?
No, no,
Are we doing that, or
no, we're going to leave it to the wisdom of our fathers.
So
That-
The
that's
nice
our
part-
proposal. Go ahead, Ralph.
So through the chair, the nice part, Phil, is the substantive changes that will be made. We already have a list of them. There's 24 of them. I'd be happy to forward it to you. Those will be the only changes that we're proposing to be made as far as that are substantial. And that way there you can actually see it. The nice thing that I like with this is it gives the December 31st timeline so that we can't afterwards just go, oh, well, we're going to do this again and change this, this, and this. This is a one-shot deal. I'm not doing it again.
No, no, I'm not either.
But I'd be happy to send that out, and that way there, at least physically, you can see the list of the 24 of them.
yeah, I would like to see them, please.
No
Yeah,
problem.
because we worked over a year on this, and there's a number, renumbering things, moving things around. But to Ralph's point, we only made 24 major changes to the bylaws. And that was from solicited information from all the department heads and everything else. We went through this. We've been through it twice so far.
Yeah, I guess my only concern is that, say you don't like 2 out of the 24, but you've got to vote for all of them when it comes time to vote because it's one vote. It's not making 24 votes. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think it takes
Actually-
a while to educate yourself on those.
So actually, Phil, it will be basically 24 approvals as we go through. Because those will be voted on at the council separate. Do we agree with this fine increase from $15 to $50? If we don't agree with it, then that's going to be changed out of the bylaw codification. So literally each one of those will be available for the public to speak on, and we will take a vote one evening on all 24 of them, but one at a time through it.
But when we vote for the codification, it's all one package. Correct?
Well, when you say you or we,
I mean, the town.
the town doesn't vote on this.
Town doesn't vote.
The town council will vote on the codification. All we're this is just for the language of the charter to allow us to do the codification.
Janie, you had a hand.
Yeah, so I'm wondering about the word synopsis in the additional paragraph, because if you're referring to the current charter, we would have had to publish the entire new bylaw or amended bylaw in the publication, and because it costs too much, the charter was amended to say a synopsis of the amended bylaw would be publicized, and the full text could be on the website of the town clerk's office. So I don't know if that's where you're grabbing that word from, or what that's where Jesse did. I should have asked him when we looked at this in the beginning. But I don't know if that's the right term, or if it should be a reasonable synopsis of the proposed codification process. Do you understand what I'm saying? How originally the synopsis was changed in the charter, so we wouldn't have to print the whole bylaw in the reminder, because it was a bunch of money to do that, and it was changed in the charter to say.
So I'm not following your question.
Well, what would the synopsis of the proposed codification look like?
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
I'm presuming if it had, go ahead, Ralph.
I think what it would look like, Jeannie, is the 2 pages that Pat Henry presented.
Okay,
The first page basically told you what we were doing, major changes, minor,
okay,
gender neutral. And the second page was all the major amendments to 24 of them. So I
okay.
think
We
that's,
probably have, okay, because we gotta probably have an intro paragraph to introduce the codification, and then this is a
Yep.
synopsis of the
Exactly.
changes. Okay, I like that. Okay.
Yeah,
It's still
that'll
gonna,
work.
it's still gonna be a lot, but it's important, so.
but it's a lot less than it could be.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Phil, are you comfortable?
Yes,
I just looked up the definition of substantive. And that's probably, if anyone had a question in the future, having a firm basis in reality and therefore important, comma, meaningful, or considerable. So, different than grammatical changes, etc. Okay. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing or seeing none, was there a motion made on Article 2, Section 6, as explained?
No, I don't
I
believe
don't
so.
think so.
I don't think so.
I move that we accept it as outlined by our chairman, Larry Levine.
Is there a second? That
I'll
was
second that.
okay. Bill seconds it. Any further discussion? All those in favor, Ralph Page,
Yes.
Larry Levine, yes. Tom Christensen,
Yes.
Andy Frazier,
yes,
Bill Fonseca,
Yes,
Phil Adams,
yes.
Jeffrey Bosworth.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Okay. Now we're back to Kathy Hill's 2 suggestions, one to Article 7, Section 3B and C, and one to Article 8, Section 4, subsection A. Let's take Article 7 first. Did everyone have a chance to peruse that as compared to the existing wording in the charter? How about some discussion? Well, I'll start it off. I reread, and reread, and although I see the changes in Article 7, Sections 3B and C, I have great respect for Kathy Hill. I don't know that there's a necessity to change the existing wording. Marilyn?
Thanks for taking the lead on that comment. I feel the same way. I chatted with Kathy last night, and I explained to her that you know, while we certainly, or I certainly appreciated her attempt at rewriting this, our concern was if the word lineup was a little different, did it change the intent of what the charter was trying to say? And that's what we were struggling with. Her response was, she was asked to put it together. She has no, she's not married to it. She tried to do it, but if we don't want to do anything with it and leave it as the original language, that she would not have a problem with that. So, you know.
Any other discussion? Is there any motion for a change? Seeing and hearing none, no action. And then Article 8, Section 4, subsection A, and this was on preliminary elections, I believe. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, that wasn't. That was Article 7. Article 8 was on referendums.
Referendums, yeah.
What do you think, people? Well, I'm of the same opinion. I'm satisfied with the existing wording, and although I applaud and thank her for her input, I don't see a necessity to change.
I agree with that.
Anyone else? Hearing and seeing no motion, then I presume no action. And I've lost it, but I know Miss Jeannie made two suggestions. One of them is renumbering sections. And I think that's a worthwhile proposal. And I'll tell you why. I don't know about you people, but I constantly look back and forth in this charter, and I don't know which article I'm in at that point. And to have it say, instead of that one we just talked about, referendum, it says section 4, but what article is it in? I have to go back each time and see it's in Article 8, and that would ease the amount of effort. It's a simple change. So what do you think about that?
Great.
So
Larry,
Yes,
Go ahead.
Ralph.
Tom was up first.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Tom?
what a nice guy. Are you just suggesting adding the article in front of the section?
Yes.
So look at that Article 8, Section 4.
Yep.
So instead of just saying Section 4, citizen referendum procedures,
Yep.
Jean, correct us if we're wrong, it would say Section 8-4, something like that.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So the article number would be in front of each section.
Okay.
So the article number in front of each paragraph contained in that article?
Each section, right.
Ralph?
Larry, if I understand right, let's say Article 8, Section 1. Instead of saying Section 1, it's going to read 8-1.
Correct.
At the beginning, though, you would have Article 8, citizen relief mechanisms.
Right.
You still
At
have
the
that,
top.
but
And then
in
when you
Section
drop
1,
down to each section, it would just give the numbers, like 8-1, 8-2, 8-3.
Yes.
Or you could say Section 8-1.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
know that matters.
Well, no, I wasn't sure if what we were looking at doing is just in front of each time where it says Section 1, Section 2, just write Article 8 and then leave the Section 1. And then add Article 8 in front of Section 2.
You can do that,
Wording.
whatever's your pleasure.
Either way, it's going to simplify it.
So let's, yes, Jeannie.
Yes, so I looked at several different towns' charters
Mhm.
because what I was looking for actually was a header that would say Article 8 on any page, where it wasn't delineated as such. But most everyone had Section 8-2, Section 8-3. They had it that way. So it's just simply the number and a dash before each section to specify the article that it lies in.
I think it's helpful.
I think either way works very well. I mean, it's like Larry said, I keep switching back and forth to see what article I'm in. And
Yeah.
Okay, so someone make a motion so we'll be specific. So when we write this up, we'll be specific. Jeff, go ahead, take a stab. Go ahead, Jeff. I know you can do it.
Okay, I make a motion that we, after each article, subsection, that it read section, the article number, and then the section number -1, 2, etc. Just to give coherence.
So let me make sure I understand the motion. You want to put And I'm looking at Article 1 right now. So under Article 1, where it says now Section 1, period, incorporation, it would say Article 1, Section 1, period, incorporation.
Larry, are you saying
That's
that?
fine, I'm not criticizing, I just want to make sure.
No, it would read Article 1,
Right,
and then it would be Section 1-1.
Right.
Then it would say incorporation.
okay.
You're not implying that, or that you would put article, the word article in front of every section. It would just be the number of the article.
Correct.
Okay,
That's okay. That's what I thought, and I think that's the way it should go.
Otherwise, you're going to have
Article,
article.
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 Yeah.
I agree, Jeff.
Well, that whole thing would read article, instead of section, be 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.4. All
Correct.
right?
so it will say Section 1-1.
Right. And then the
Okay.
next, and the
And then the
second
next
one would
one
be Section 1-2.
Gotcha, okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Tom, discussion?
One question, Larry.
Yes, Phil.
Is all of this going to be documented in the table of contents in the beginning? Or are you just?
Well,
gonna
the
leave
beginning, the table
table
of contents now doesn't break it down by section.
Only
That's
has the
right.
article.
It really does articles.
That's why I'm asking, are we going to put the sections in
I don't know.
table of
that that's-
contents?
I don't know that that's as important as putting it within the document, because I tell you, I rarely look at the table of contents when I'm trying to find something. It's more involved when I'm trying to find what article I'm in within. I don't know. How's everyone else feel about that?
I don't think we need to.
No. I'm in the
Table-
same boat as you, Larry, because if I'm looking for something, you got to figure out what article you're in.
Yeah. Okay. That good, Phil?
Yep, good.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of inserting in front of each section the article number dash, whatever the section number, after the word section? Did I get it right?
Yes.
Okay. Ralph Page,
Yes.
Larry Levine, yes. Tom Christensen,
Yes.
Andy Fraser,
Yes.
Bill Fonseca,
Yes.
Bill Adams,
Yes.
Jeff Bosworth.
Yes.
It's unanimous. Now, Jeannie, I'm quite sure you had a second suggestion.
So it's just, if you're thinking of the font, I think for such a formal document, it should have a more formal font like Times Roman or something. To me, the document doesn't look very formal. And I don't know if that's something we have to vote on.
I don't think so, but
No, it was just a comment that
I'm
I
only
made.
one peon here. Anyone else have thoughts on the font? Yes, Marilyn.
Not so much on the font, but the process. Now, the original document, the original charter that was mailed out to everyone, who printed that up? Who initiated that? The town, or was it the Collins Institute that did that?
Oh,
I don't remember.
no, neither do I. And I don't even know that we ever discussed font.
Okay.
No, we didn't.
And where I'm going with that is, okay, this, assuming that there will be some accepted modifications to the charter moving forward, the document would have to be electronically reprinted or reformatted, so you would use whatever font you wanted, whoever was doing it, I would think. And then if there was a document printed up, if the town was going to print up X number for sale, then we could just decide how we want to do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, Jamie.
I'm wondering, all of you that were on this commission before, who literally typed up the end document?
I think it was the Collins Center.
It was the
really?
Collins Center.
Yeah.
And part two is how many hard copies do we want? Because I better put that in the budget and get a price.
Well, that's not our decision.
Okay, that's the town council's decision?
Yes, ma'am, not within our jurisdiction. Yes,
Yeah.
Ralph.
So Jeannie, I just read, and I can't tell you exactly where it was. It may be under 43B, that every, I believe it was 10 years, the charter has to be printed and hard copies available for sale to the residents.
MGL?
Yeah, I want to say it's chapter 43B under the home rule. I think that's where I read it, but they do have to be available. And I want to say it's like every 10 years or something, because I thought that was funny that it would pretty much coincide in the future with us doing a charter review.
All right, I'll look at that.
If I can find it again, I'll send it over to you.
Okay, I've got it right here. I can look it up too. So we'll have that for next meeting, right?
Should-
It's not up to us, it's up to the town council, so.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Ralph.
Brings up another issue. Last week, we were discussing, someone had asked about whether this committee had discussed or would discuss term limits. It appears that state law requires any change to the terms of town councilors has to be commenced through a charter commission. Am I, Ralph, am I correct in that summation?
You are correct. Under Mass
Yeah.
General Law, Chapter 43B, Section 10.
Yeah,
It's
so,
the legislative branch, any composition, term limits or anything like that has to be done with a charter commission to change it, which would be like we did last time, 9 members elected and all.
this committee has taken no action on changing the charter regarding term limits. But just so the citizenry has the knowledge, it appears the process for that is more cumbersome, intentionally so.
Good work, Ralph. But I'm
Yeah.
not surprised. He takes his general laws and his bylaws with him wherever he goes.
Actually, I'm going to thank Larry for that. I was able to reread that whole chapter again.
And so, I don't know if we have anything more on our agenda for this meeting. Oh, Jeannie does.
Yeah, I do. Ralph, you had asked about if somebody was running for a seat that was vacated,
Oh,
not
yes.
so much a seat with a
Yes.
standard 3-year term. So on the nomination papers, which we get supplied through by the state, we get our own template for each town. There's a section that says office, and underneath you have to put exact office you're running for, and then there's another space where you put term in the years. So that's where it'd be differentiated. Then when the ballot's printed, we'd have to put on the ballot to fill a vacancy or to fill an unexpired term so the voter would know. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, and
Does.
Okay.
we did research state law on that, and state law is different. And then it dawned on us that we wrote a charter which is different than state law, which is allowed and was approved. The state law would say, as long as someone vacates their position as a town councilor within not less than 120 days from the next election, then the person would, Ralph, correct me if I'm wrong, would be elected or appointed for the remaining entire term of that vacant position. Do you recall that?
Appointed.
Say it
Yeah,
again.
it's appointed.
Appointed before the 120 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tim pointed that out last time. What page is that on?
Oh, that's a statute. Oh, you mean our,
It's
Our
in here somewhere.
yeah, in the charter, our rule is slightly different.
Oh, it's on pages 7 and 8.
So the only thing that is lacking in our charter is that specific wording. If there are multiple seats available, one for the remaining term, that we're not as specific as we might be, that for the person or persons running for the unexpired term, they will have put on the ballot under a separate line, as opposed to someone running for a full 3-year term. The ballot says that, but the charter doesn't specifically state that process. We can just leave it the way it is, and continue the process rather than putting further wording in that section 8 to delineate that. What's your pleasure, people? Yes, Marilyn.
Just a question, Larry. Okay, I'm not sure if I understood you correctly. If the vacancy occurs in the 3rd year of an individual's term, the person, like myself, was appointed for the remainder of that term until the next election.
Right.
But if the vacancy occurred in the 2nd year of the
Yep.
term, the appointment is to the next election, or is the appointment for the rest of the term?
Next election.
Right.
Okay, that's how
The
it's always.
state law would make the appointment to the remainder of the term,
Right.
right? So
But the charter,
if a person vacates in the 2nd year, a person is appointed until the next election, and then would run for, in
1 year,
1 year.
right?
And we don't actually specify, therefore the ballot will have a position for a 1-year position and probably 1 or 2 openings, or maybe 3 for a 3-year term.
But that,
We
that
just
process
do
is
that.
established in our town already. I mean,
Right.
that's, we've always done it, so
That's right.
I see no problem with it, just the way it is.
Good. Anyone else, any thoughts? Okay. So that was the last issue that I had.
Get her.
Anyone have any other issues for the committee? So if we're at a point of what's the word? Finality?
Seeing the light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah, so it's time to start typing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know how long this process will take me. I will endeavor to begin probably this weekend. And I'll let all of you know how I'm progressing. I can't promise I'll be ready by next Tuesday. And if I need your help, I will ask for it. But I think it's a one-person job. It might help when I get into it for someone to sit and dictate to me the changes rather than me looking and then typing in. And I'm going to do it very similar to what Ralph had done with marginal notes and highlighted. And what our computers have is the process. I can spit out a clean version as well as one indicating all of the changes from the existing charter. And that's it.
I'd be happy to help read if you need it.
Well, I'll let you know, I'll let all of you know how it's going.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then as soon as I have it ready, I will send all of you drafts of what I've done. remember, I cannot even read my own handwriting.
This is
Right.
scary, Ralph.
So I don't take anything personal like that.
Doctors and lawyers go to the same school for penmanship.
I think they do. That's why I
In the
had
sixth,
trouble. That's
in
why I
the
had
sixth
trouble.
grade, in the sixth grade.
Yeah, yeah. So that's it, kids. Any other business? Dr. Mackey, you there?
I am here.
All right, so we're about to sign off.
Thank you for the heads up. I've been listening, actually. It's been quite interesting.
So we'll be in touch.
All right.
Yeah.
No meeting next week then.
Right.
I'm guessing I'm not that good.
All right. Well, Jeannie will let me know.
We'll
Yeah.
let you know by Friday,
All
Well,
right.
in order to post it in time.
Right.
I won't be, it's doubtful I'll get to it before the weekend.
Okay.
Okay.
So I won't have an answer Friday. Therefore,
Follow.
you're on vacation next Tuesday.
Ah,
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
For your work.
yeah, quick, Phil.
All right, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Bill
Phil
did.
already made it, and I'll second it.
Okay. Ralph Page,
Yes.
Larry Levine, yes. Tom Christensen,
Yes.
Andy Fraser,
yes.
Bill Fonseca,
Yes.
Bill Adams,
Yes.
Jeff Bosworth.
Yes.
All right, kids, till we meet again.
Hey,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Very
Happy
well.
trails.